Applications are now open.
The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TV1 News. I'm Rex Litter.
And I'm Carol Kiru Jr. Join me later in the bulletin for your news and sports.
In this edition, Church's concern over escalating lawlessness. Teachers dedicate academic year to gold. And Djokovic makes 50th finals. Two warring tribes in Mandi, Map and SK Tente have signed a peace agreement, putting an end to the ongoing tribal conflict that started in early 2024. Mandi Munihu MP Raphael Tonpi commended the two warring tribes for taking up the bold stand to say no for tribal fight and negotiate for peace in the communities. Mr. Tonpi further commended the Southern Highlands Provincial Peace and Good Order Committee, led by Philip Moya and Chief Yauntin Koroba, for leading the peace negotiations and finally bringing the warring parties to a round table to sign the peace agreement. He further applauded the surrounding communities and tribes for not taking sides in these tribal conflicts, which prevented the fight from escalating. The MP said a good example is now being set for all communities in the district. The Catholic Professionals Society of PNG, on behalf of the churches, has condemned the escalating lawlessness that is emerging in the country and called for immediate action. The society raised its concerns during a press conference held in Port Moresby today.
Joining other law society agencies and representing the churches in Papua New Guinea, the Catholic Professional Society PNG is concerned about the out-of-control and escalating law and order situation in our communities and nation. The indiscriminate killings and violence have become regular and normal, leading to no respect for human life. When speaking to the media in a press conference today, the Society's president, Paul Harrican, said PNG still harbors the memories of the January 10th riot, tribal killings in Enga, Southern Highlands and Hela. Violence and killing in Alatau, Rabaul, Medang, Isipik and more recently a killing in Goilala. Bag snatching and stealing from the defenseless by armed gangs and mobs have become common also. Hurricane said people cannot walk out of their homes without concern for their safety. He added that it is unacceptable in a country that is supposed to enjoy freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and human rights.
Our own enslavement by our own criminal activities. We are not free to roam the streets, to walk around freely, women, children, and young people, and everybody is not feeling free.
The church makes an effort to spread the message of hope, peace, and love amid the darkness of lawlessness in the country.
Only call now is on the government leadership to hear the cry of the people.
Hurricane said the lack of government presence in societies is one of the reasons why law and order is increasing. Therefore, the church further calls on the government to step up and be more visible in their communities.
Constitutional offices, the office of the police commissioner, the office of the CS commissioner, the office of the defense force, and other constitutional offices, even the Ombudsman Commission, those who expect enforcement, prosecution, their hands are tied because there is political compromises. So we are asking, please stop politicization of our constitutional offices and our public service. Let the public servants do their job. And for public servants, stop running the political rings around your necks and stop doing your job. You have to be doing your job, even if it means you getting sacked for standing up doing the right thing.
Hurricane added that the police and law enforcement agencies of government must be free from political interference and compromises to carry out their mandated roles and responsibilities. Money policies must change to allow for sanity and leadership of integrity, and tribal warlords must face the full force of the law. A member of the society, Dorothy Takwi, called for PNG citizens and the government to take ownership of our behaviors and individually change for the betterment of the country. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape today met with Tom Palmer, President and CEO of Newmont Corporation, and Peter Toth, Newmont's Executive Vice President for Strategic Development, to discuss advancing the Wafi-Golpu project, ensuring efficiency in Newmont's operations in Papua New Guinea, and addressing the company's global restructuring. His office released a statement this afternoon on the meet where Prime Minister Marape reaffirmed the government's commitment to finalizing the mine development contract for Wafi-Golpu within the first quarter of 2025. He said he has instructed the state negotiating team to review the draft MDC currently under consideration, and upon his return, will finalize all outstanding matters in February to ensure the contract is signed at the earliest, to allow the project to move forward as a final investment decision and subsequent development. Prime Minister Marape emphasized that the state will have a 30% equity stake in the project, with 10% allocated to the Morobe provincial government and landowners. Staff of the Office of Censorship have been challenged by Chief Censor Jim Abani to critically look at how much work they have achieved since the launch of the National Censorship Policy 2 of the 2021 to 2025. Abani says, according to an assessment of his own, only half of the policy objectives has been achieved.
The National Censorship Policy 2 of 2021 to 2025, when launched, intended to meaningfully contribute to the overall development outcomes of Papua New Guinea in building a morally sound, peaceful, and sustainable future for all. Today, Chief Censor Jim Abani challenged the Censorship Office to be more proactive and innovative, emphasizing that the core business of the office has changed. Abani further stated that according to an assessment of his own, the Censorship Office has so far only achieved half of the policy objectives of the National Censorship Policy 2 of 2021 to 2025.
From my own assessment on the policy number 2, we have achieved only 55% during the 4 years or 5 years of that policy. Every one of you, as the divisional heads, all those key focus areas were tied against you. You ask yourself, have I done enough to achieve this?
Abani stated further that for the next 3 months, the office will pore over all recommendations of reports they have compiled since 2020. Abani says it is critical that recommendations of previous reports be implemented.
No work's going to start for the next 3 months. You look at the recommendation, you come and convince me, and you put your plan. This year is going to be hard, and I'm going to stand on my foot to say no to some of those things. We cannot continue to make recommendations after recommendations after recommendations.
Chief Senator Abani challenged his staff to take accountability for resources and funding allocated to the office and practice discipline in their endeavors to service delivery to Papua New Guinea. Maricela Kelaton, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. Among stories after the break, solar power transforms Rycoast and OTML surpasses target.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Right across the nation, we eat snack crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no P&G, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
All right, man. Show me some good slippers around here.
Boss man.
Good, you want. Strong like you, smart like me.
Yeah, I hope they don't break.
Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
The blockbuster hunt begins this January with Tom Clancy's greatest movie hits.
The Red October. And you identify. I will make it my mission in life.
Incoming! In the face of danger,
I am the president. How dare you, sir?
heroes are born.
If you shut me out, 25 million other families will be dead.
This January, enter the world of Tom Clancy every Saturday on Hits Movies.
Welcome back. The Teaching Service Commission, or TSC, hosted a dedication service for NCD teachers yesterday at the Sioni Kami Memorial Church in Port Moresby.
Thank you very much.
Over 2,000 NCD teachers of elementary, primary, secondary and technical schools attended the dedication service yesterday, hosted by the Teaching Service Commission. As a Christian country, the dedication service aims to dedicate the 2025 academic year to the Lord before classes resume on Monday, January 27th. The dedication service was themed Restoration. Emphasizing on the theme, TSC Chairman Samson Wangiomi said the theme means change. It calls for teachers to change the way they have been teaching in 2024 and adopt new teaching practices this year going forward.
Some of us have a culture that is embedded in us. We go to school drunk, or we don't even turn up. Or we go to school late and we take off early. So 2025 is the year of restoration. Let us restore some of our practices.
Wangiomi said teachers play a pivotal role in shaping a country. However, the conduct of teaching and learning in 2024 was very poor, resulting in teachers not attending classes or coming to class on time. Therefore, this year, teachers are encouraged to implement good ethical standards, ensure that they are punctual, and be good role models to their students.
This is our call. Be committed, be punctual. Don't come to the commission or even go into your classrooms with bitternut stain, six-pocket trousers. I don't tolerate that. Yeah, Rasta hair about ya. Be a role model.
Wangiomi further called on the ed teachers to lead by example and work collaboratively with their teachers to ensure they achieve good results this year.
Monitor your teachers. Don't be the procurement officer, head teachers, to go out and do the shopping and bring it back. Or be that head teacher who is all the time in the school but is office bound. Go out there and see and hear.
Also present to witness the occasion is number one Super CEO, Paul Seya. Seya emphasized on the importance of savings for life after retirement and encouraged teachers to implement the practice of savings.
People do pass away, and one of the tasks that we do in the super fund is look to who do we pay the money to. It's called nomination of beneficiaries. If you tell us who to pay to and you do things properly, we make sure they get the money.
Meanwhile, NSL and MoniPlus held an information session with the teachers after the dedication service. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Nestled along the untouched beauty of Medang's Rai Coast district, communities are experiencing a new dawn thanks to a transformative solar energy project led by Kokoda Trek Foundation. With funding from the Australian government's Powering Community Partnerships program, the initiative is set to revolutionize lives in some of Papua New Guinea's most remote and inaccessible areas.
Over 12,100 household solar systems, 22 solar-powered community facilities and 777 streetlights are being installed across 150 villages, including benefiting over 60,500 people. Local installation teams are working with solar champions from each village to ensure their systems are efficiently distributed and maintained. Jeremiah Willis, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer with KTF's Rai Coast installation team, said that so many people live in dark places without light. This project has brought excitement and hope as it gives light to people for free. This ambitious project extends beyond Rai Coast. Across Madang, Morbe, and New Island provinces, solar systems are being installed in 280 villages, impacting the lives of over 155,000 people. KTF has a proven track record of success, having delivered similar projects in Oro and Western provinces, which sparked improvements in education, healthcare delivery, and community safety. Dr. Genevieve Nelson, CEO of KTF, emphasized the significance of the program, stating that this initiative offers safe, reliable, and affordable energy, opening pathways for education, healthcare, and economic development in some of the remotest areas of PNG. She said it was an honor to expand this vital work into the Rai Coast, a region of breathtaking beauty and immense potential. The external evaluation of previous solar projects showed a dramatic increase in student study time after dark, enhanced safety for women and girls, and improved service delivery at local health posts. As the solar installations progress, the light they bring is more than just illumination. It symbolizes hope and sustainable development for communities that have long lived in darkness. Maricela Kelleton, TV1 News.
Oak Teddy Mining Limited, or OTML, has announced an exceptional performance for 2024, achieving record-breaking production and financial results. The company produced over 103,000 tons of copper, 265,000 ounces of gold, and nearly 1 million ounces of silver, surpassing all targets.
Oak Teddy Mining Limited delivered an exceptional performance in 2024, celebrating record-breaking production results and significant contributions to Papua New Guinea's economy. With over 5.7 billion kina in revenue and outstanding achievements in copper, gold, and silver production, the company also marked 40 years of operations. Despite challenges, OTML's dedication to sustainability, operational excellence, and community support continues to drive its success. OTML's revenue for the year hit 5.7 billion kina, contributing significantly to PNG's economy through royalties, taxes, dividends, and community investments, totaling over 1.3 billion kina. The year also marked OTML's 40th anniversary since operations began in 1984. Despite challenges such as shipping constraints and a national fuel crisis, OTML maintained operations and supported the nation by supplying Jet A1 fuel to airlines. Looking ahead, OTML is focused on its Growth 2050 strategy. Key initiatives include sustainable growth projects, environmental stewardship, electrification, and advanced waste management systems. CEO Keddy Ilimbit praised the workforce's resilience and dedication, emphasizing OTML's commitment to responsible mining and sustainable development. Maricela Kelleton, TV1 News.
And now to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2494 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2419, $0.3835 Australian dollars, 0.2247 euro, and 37.33 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and cocoa closed higher, coffee, copra, crude oil, and copper closed lower, and palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
This is a second day progress update for the works that has been carried out. We started 12 meters shutting the plant, emptied the clarifier, exposed all the infrastructure, surface, internal, that needs to be repaired, did an inspection assessment, then handed over to the contractor with the engineer. Currently they're uplifting the rake structure, aligning it properly, and also they've removed the gearbox and the motor and the upper layer of the mechanical components of the faulty gearbox. And now they're in the process of removing the faulty gear. At the rate we are going, we expect to complete it by the end of January. Just appeal to the customers to bear with us. The services are still flowing, but not to the full extent because of the repair works to the faulty clarifier. But we're doing our best to ration water so everybody in the city gets some water during this time. And hopefully the work will be completed soon and will restore full service.
Every heist has its price.
Let's go. If I'm wrong, we're dead.
Cash out.
We're gonna need some help.
Every dream team starts somewhere. Champions. The world will be watching The Hunger Games. Sing along with an all-star cast in Mamma Mia, the final chapter, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Show custom. That's what we want.
That's what we do around here. That ain't no stock record no more. You're always trying to outdo yourself. People are gonna take notice for sure. Get out the way. Oh, look at that. Are you liking it? I'm trying not to cry.
Texas Metal, Thursdays 8:30 on Turbo.
Thanks for staying with us. Turning abroad, unofficial results in the Vanuatu election shows another rainbow coalition is likely. New Vanuatu went to the polls on January 16th in a snap election triggered by Prime Minister Carlos Salwai's dissolution of Parliament. While results will not be confirmed for days, counting tallies suggest at least 8 parties will win seats, with none coming close to governing in the majority. One outcome is clear: women will be severely underrepresented in Parliament. Vanuatu is an outlier even in the Pacific, the region that elects fewer women than any other. Only 6 women have been elected to the 52-seat Parliament since independence in 1980. Rail unions have withdrawn all noticed industrial actions which threatened to cause further chaos for commuters on Sydney's train network.
Well, the Rail, Tram and Bus Union is claiming this as a win. Had the case been lost, there was a reasonable chance that it could end up in arbitration, which is something the union was desperate to avoid. So it did everything in its power to force the government to drop its case in the Fair Work Commission. The government was trying to seek an order to terminate protected industrial action, which it argued would endanger the welfare of the public and significantly harm the economy. The union has withdrawn all of that action, everything but essentially action around wearing badges and putting stickers on train. But there's nothing to stop the union from coming up with new kinds of potentially disruptive industrial action, although they can't do it in the immediate future.
We still have other actions that we're able to notify. Obviously, we've got at least a 10-day notification period, so there's a lot of notice if anything goes on. I I do want to pick up on one of your pieces, though, is that so far we really haven't taken any action that has disrupted the rail network. We do everything we can to try and prevent disruption to commuters, and we'll continue to do that into the campaign.
Well, the government and the rail unions have been locked in mediation for the past couple of days here at the Fair Work Commission, but they're still yet to nut out an agreement. The unions were initially seeking a 32% pay rise over 4 years. The state government is offering 15% over the same period. It's understood the unions have now lowered their pay demands and they now match the government's. But it has more than 200 demands, more than 100 of which are yet to be resolved. One sticking point, the union says, is a safety clause, which the government wants to remove. The union is refusing to budge on that matter, and it's warning the government that if it fails to return to the bargaining table, that it will re-escalate its industrial campaign with different kinds of action.
Sydney woke up to another anti-Semitic attack this morning, this time the torching of a childcare centre in Maroubra. The building was extensively damaged before firefighters could put out the fire. It prompted the Prime Minister to call a national cabinet meeting to address the wave of anti-Semitic incidents in Australia.
Flames engulf a childcare centre alongside more offensive graffiti in a beachside suburb.
It breaks your heart that we have animals in our city that are prepared to burn down a childcare centre to make this point.
Fire crews rushed to extinguish the blaze on the ground floor of Only About Children Maroubra around 1 a.m. No one was injured, but the centre was severely damaged.
We're shocked and horrified to see the damage that's been occurred. We've been focused on ensuring our team, our families and the children are safe and aware of what's going on.
The centre caters to families of all faiths and backgrounds and is just around the corner from the Maroubra Synagogue and a Jewish primary school. Its external wall features a mural painted by local volunteers as a symbol of inclusion.
The sort of harmony that enriches Australia. This is a place for children and families, and it should never have been denigrated by this despicable and horrifying crime.
The Prime Minister and the Premier visited the scene this morning as members of the local Jewish community woke to the unsettling news.
It's an awful thing to see. It's really awful. I mean, I've seen the other anti-Semitic attacks at other synagogues and it's really horrible.
I definitely feel at unease with another attack, especially so close to a synagogue and a Jewish primary school.
It's the 7th anti-Semitic and anti-Israel attack across Sydney this month. The spate has already prompted a dedicated task force which includes counter-terrorism police.
That strike force will have its resources increased as of today.
After facing increasing pressure from the opposition, the Prime Minister agreed to convene National Cabinet today.
This afternoon we'll hear from the AFP Commissioner, and it will be an opportunity for us to discuss collectively the responses that are being made by state and territory governments and the coordination with the Commonwealth.
A crisis response as a community pleads for an end to the hate.
Undergoing cancer treatment can be an incredibly isolating experience for so many, but one Melbourne initiative is working to change that. The Man Shed at Melbourne's Peter McCullen Cancer Centre has seen an influx of members since it opened 3 years ago, providing cancer patients and their families with vital social connections.
It's a space for people during their darkest times, and contrary to the title, it's not just for men.
So I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in 2 days before Christmas.
Susie started visiting the Peter Mac Men's Shed after undergoing her mastectomy.
This is actually for a pantry. They're drawers for a pantry.
Members use donated materials to construct items like drawers, cupboards and possum boxes for the community.
You don't even need to be into woodwork, it's just a great space to hang out with like-minded people that have been through similar experiences.
Liz was diagnosed with lung cancer 10 years ago. which spread to her spine before it collapsed in 2020.
My autonomy is gone. Me as a person has been taken away.
Her husband Neil visits the shed while she receives treatment at the nearby hospital.
I just enjoyed it. So we're both doing something today together, but in separate little places across the road from each other.
We both, it's like dancing on tables for me, like I used to do, but I can't do the dancing on the table. But it's worked out magical for us.
Wellbeing has also become a key part of patients' care inside the hospital.
They can come out of being a cancer patient just for half an hour between appointments, have a cuppa, sit out in the garden, and people find that really valuable.
There are over 360 sheds across Victoria, and this is the first in a hospital precinct. It's connecting patients and families with a community of like-minded peers. Hammering home an initiative for better mental health.
Donating blood is a familiar concept, but bone donation is much less well known. Despite bone being the second most transplanted tissue, there's a constant shortage in bone banks around the country.
As conversation starters go, Catherine Doyle Haley's necklace is a good one.
This is a necklace that I made out of 4 of the screws that they removed from my spine.
Over the last 40 years, she's had more than 30 spinal surgeries.
When I have x-rays done, I look a bit like the Sydney Harbour Bridge because there's 22 screws going down and then there's rods here, there and everywhere, and it just connects from one end to the other.
Over the decades, she's both donated and received bone from the bone bank.
Racks and racks of, bits and pieces of bone, some crunch bone, some femoral head bone, some segmental bone, things like long bones, bone struts, soft tissue grafts, they're all there. It's a bit like going to Woolies.
Located at hospitals around the country, like a blood bank, bone banks rely on donors to keep them stocked for bone grafts.
We're the hammer, chisel, the saw, the drill, we build the foundations.
In the past, animal bone and coral have been used, but surgeons say human bone is best.
Bone that's implanted into someone gradually but surely gets recolonised by the appropriate stem cells from that person. So bone is really clever.
Unfortunately, despite bone being the second most transplanted tissue after blood, there's a shortage of donors in Australia, with many not knowing it's even an option after common surgeries like hip replacements. Of the 50,000 of those performed each year, only 10% are donated.
So with a hip replacement, we remove the old ball, and that ball can then be either discarded or sent off to the bone bank.
Well, they're either going to throw it away or they're going to send it to the bone bank. Send it to the bone bank, please, people.
Connecting the hip bone to the bone bank.
You are watching TV1 News. Later in sports with Carol, Sports Club receives sponsorship and PNG Boxing announces calendar.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Hey, do you know that Cell Money gives you twice the Digicel credits you recharge when you top up your phone with Cell Money?
Yes, I have the good news. So now I put 3 kina in my phone. I receive 6 kina credit.
Well, that's why now I like to top up 5 kina, because I receive 10 kina. And then I use my credits to call, send text, or get data.
Let's go to a Digicel store or Cell Money agent today. Deposit money in your Cell Money wallet to top up and receive the double credit.
Dial *888# to do it all with Cell Money.
Cell Money, do it all with Cell Money.
Full show custom.
That's what we do around here.
Oh,
That ain't no stock record no more. Are you liking it?
trying not to cry.
Texas Metal, Thursdays 8:30 on Turbo.
Wow, tucked into our Asian takeout special.
What's up?
We got one chow yun fan with our young Wahlberg. Free police! And then...
Good morning, Charlie.
4 type rosy roll sandwich.
Yummy.
Kung Fu style.
Perfect.
And then Jet Li wrap with DMXO sauce.
Why? Some type of Kung Fu James Bond?
Wow, it's so full of flavor. Asian takeout. Sundays at 9 on Warner TV.
This January, it's the rise of a new dawn, filled with positivity, hope and inspiration. Behind the walls of this century-old palace-like mansion in Singapore lie secrets and legacies unknown to many. Unveil the mysteries of this time-worn treasure. Karikal Mahal, a silent witness. Once teetering on the edge of extinction, leopard sharks are returning to Indonesia's wild waters. Join marine biologist Nesha Achida and her team as she races against time to preserve the delicate balance of marine life in Rewilding Sharks. How do you get teenagers off their phones? Can they really cut down on their screen time? CNA puts 5 teams to the test. See what happens in No Screen, No Life? This January on CNA.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. South Pacific Motors Sports Club today received a check of 15,000 kina from Life Insurance Corporation Limited at the sports club as the naming rights sponsor for the tournament. Participating clubs at the South Pacific Sports Club Ultimate Challenge are expecting some good prizes at the end of the tournament.
The South Pacific Sports Club has been running darts, pool and snooker competitions since October 2024. 9 teams have been competing for the sports club's Ultimate Challenge title. The tournament resumed 2 weeks ago after the Christmas break. The tournament received a significant boost of 15,000 kina sponsorship from Life Insurance Corporation Limited today. Sports Club Tournament Director Joe Chan said this sponsorship is significant. He said winners of the competition would be expecting a little more than they received in their last 2 tournaments. Thanks to Life Insurance Corporation Limited.
It's going from strength to strength now with the sponsorship. We'll be able to increase the prize money for the teams. Currently, last year the winning team was awarded a cash prize of 5,000 kina, along with trophies, and there were a lot of individual awards and given out as well. But with the generous sponsorships coming in, we are hoping, the organisers, myself included, are hoping to increase prize money and make the competition even more attractive for our club members.
Chen further said darts challenges have attracted talents from NCD and Port Moresby Darts associations. He said South Pacific Sports Club is a member-only club. Interested individuals can become a member. When presenting the check today, Chief Executive Officer of Life Insurance Corporation Limited, Dipayan De, said the company is grateful for supporting this event as some of its employees are participating.
We are very pleased to come on board. We had some staff members who wanted to play some pool and wanted to play some darts, and what better place to come to than the Car Club? It's one of the oldest clubs in the city, and we are very pleased to be able to sponsor the event. My staff have been having a great time over the last few weekends, and we wanted to support that from the community spirit, from our staff development spirit, and we are pleased to support it. And we intend to be a long-term sponsor, and we'll be here.
Competitors in darts, pool and snooker gathered every Monday and Tuesday night for their matches. The sports club tournament is expecting a bigger event next year as it prepares to celebrate its 4th-year anniversary as a club. The competition is expected to conclude in March. Rex Lita, Tvwan Sports.
The Southern Highlands province is stepping up preparations to host the 8th PNG Games in June. Mendi Munihu MP Rafael Tonpi confirmed that infrastructure development, including the sealing of Mendi town roads and construction of sporting facilities, is progressing well and on schedule. MP Tonpi expressed confidence in the contractor's ability to complete the work on time and revealed that the government has committed additional funding, which is to be expected to be released soon to accelerate preparations. The Games will not be confined to Mendi, but will also involve neighboring districts such as Kaua, Pangia, Nipa, and the Western Pacific University, with the potential to include events in Kandep and Tambul. Tompi emphasized that the Games are a significant opportunity to transform Mendi and urged locals to work together to ensure its success. Plans include upgrading schools, providing new dormitories and buses, and completing roadworks to enhance the town's infrastructure. Wunamami tribesmen have kicked the first leg of the Agmak 9 series on a winning note after defeating a more fancied Page Park Cowboys 1 outfit of Rabaul in a thrilling 10-8 grand final showdown. Played at the newly built Gelegele Sports Association facility on Saturday. Tribesmen also collected 5,000 kina cash, while runner-ups, Cowboys, settled for 2,500 kina.
The tournament was officially kicked off by Agmark CEO Stephen Nightingale and witnessed by Guria's new coach Warto Puara Jr. and Eastern Britain Governor Michael Marum among participating teams and supporters. The 3-game series was initially planned to be played across the 3 districts of Kokopo, Gazelle and Rabaul. However, considering logistical convenience, the 2 first rounds of the series have been rescheduled for 2 consecutive weekends at the Gelegele Sports Oval, which started last weekend and will continue this Friday and Saturday. The 3rd and final leg of the series will be played at the Queen Elizabeth Park in Rabaul in 2 weeks' time. The tournament started with round-robin matches on Friday, culminating in the playoffs, and finally the big grand final showdown between the 2 formed teams, Tribesmen and Cowboys, late Saturday afternoon. In the semi-finals playoff, Page Park Cowboys proved too strong for H&A Brumbies 22-10, while VM Tribesmen did well to hold off a strong surge from the HK Rabaul Panthers 12-4. Tribesmen and Cowboys are predominantly Rugby Sevens teams and exhibited some open-style footy with plenty of flair in the attack, coupled with skill, speed and agility to mesmerize their opponents. Both teams scored a try apiece in the opening half for a 6-4 scoreline after Cowboys scored first but missed the conversion. Tribesmen opened their scoring in the second half with an unconverted try to lead 10-4 before Cowboys hit back, but again missed the conversion, with Tribesmen holding on to take victory 10-8 at full time. The tightly contested grand final decider has again generated plenty of interest and set a benchmark for the series to go up another notch in the next 2 series, with more cash incentives up for grabs. Winners of the 3rd leg will walk away with a major cash prize of 10,000 kina to be played on the weekend of January 31 and Feb 1 in Rabaul District at the historic Queen's Park. While overseeing the tournament, Agmark Guria's coach Warto Puara Jr. and his coaching staff will be keeping an eye out for potential talents to be included into the Guria's training squad for the 2025 season. This will be announced at the end of the Agmark 9 series.
The PNG Boxing Union is thrilled to announce its 2025 calendar of events, including preparations for the men's and women's elite championships in Tahiti. The union was also excited to announce new partnership with Kumul Minerals Holdings as naming rights sponsors for their programs in next 5 years. Among the highlights for this year are the annual Kokoda Boxing Cup Challenge and the World Men's Boxing Championships in Baku. A squad list of male and female was also announced today to prepare for the Tahiti Games in late March.
In today's media conference, PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kentino revealed that following last year's announcement of the forthcoming Oceania Boxing Championships in Tahiti this year, they are happy to confirm a training squad currently undergoing training at the Sir John Guy Stadium, Port Moresby, since the beginning of January 2025. The other major announcement today was the confirmation of Lamana Hotel as official partner and host of major boxing events, including the annual Kokoda Cup. The highlights included in the calendar for this year are Kokoda Boxing Challenge versus Australia, Oceania IBA Senior Men and Women's Boxing Championships in Tahiti, and the World Men's Boxing Championships in Baku, Azerbaijan, or Turi in Italy. Apart from announcing the boxing calendar for the year, Boxing Union President Dr. Kentino was also pleased to announce a training squad comprising 7 male and 8 female boxers now in camp for the first major international bout, which is the Oceania Boxing Championships in Tahiti end of March. Kentino said the squad will be trimmed down after the Kokoda Cup on March 9. He added this would give them a fair indication of how our boxers will fare in Tahiti.
But basically, we have a training squad on now that's been training for the last 3 months since the announcement of the confirmation of the Oceania Championships. We've got 8 women and 7 men on the squad at the moment, but that is not the confirmed list. The trials will be on March the 9th. That will be against boxers from Australia, from Victoria mainly, and a few from Queensland. They are the current state champions, so that will give us, the selectors, some indication of how strong our boxers are, and then how they will fare in Tahiti. The Oceanian Championships is from.
The President also emphasized the importance of having qualified technical officials, especially coaches and referees, with 3 regional workshops for coaches and referees scheduled for the Highlands, Momase and NGI as per the 2025 boxing calendar.
Going forward, we aim to have 3 regional coaching and refereeing workshops. That's to make sure that we have our referees and coaches trained to IABA standards.
The PNG Boxing Union is eyeing the forthcoming Oceania Boxing Championships slated for Tahiti in late March with much interest. PNG BU President Dr. Kentino said they are making plans following the announcement by International Boxing Association President Umar Kremlev that a large pool of prize money will be on offer. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The draw for the OFC Under-19 Women's Championship 2025 was unveiled on Tuesday at the OFC Home of Football, Te Kahu Okiwa in Auckland, New Zealand.
The title holders New Zealand and host Tahiti have been drawn together in Group B, alongside New Caledonia and Vanuatu, whilst Fiji, Samoa, Cook Islands and the winner of the qualifying tournament comprise Group A. The OFC Under-19 Women's Championship 2025 will take place in Tahiti from September 21st to October 4th, with the qualifying tournament being hosted by Tonga from March 7 to the 13th. The draw for the OFC Under-19 Women's Championship 2025 qualifying was also confirmed. Meantime, it's a calendar full of events for the OFC, kick-starting in March. The OFC Men's Championships League 2025 also takes place in Fiji from the end of March to mid-April, with the country also hosting the OFC Women's Nations Cup in July. Tonga will play host to 2 competitions in 2025, with both the OFC Under-19 Women's Championship qualifier and OFC Under-16 Men's Championship with a qualifier in the Kingdom. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
And finally, Novak Djokovic has wound back the clock in a dazzling display at the Australia Open, keeping hopes alive of securing a historic 25th Grand Slam after beating Carlos Alcaraz.
What was that? The world-renowned tennis player Novak Djokovic has been having a mixed campaign in the Australia Open. His performances in the competition drew critics from fans and media commentaries alike, but his game against Carlos Alcaraz silenced them all. Djokovic put the past few days behind to produce a stunning display, toppling Alcaraz on day 10 of the Australian Open. He took down Alcaraz in a 3-hour 27-minute contest, 6-4, 6-3 and 6-4. This performance has booked the Serbian a place in the semi-final stages of a Grand Slam for a staggering 50th time, cementing himself as one of the best tennis players in the world. For Alcaraz, he has lost a match for only a second time in his Grand Slam career after winning the opening set. Alcaraz takes on a second-seeded Alexander Zverev, who brushed past American Tony Paul in 4 sets in the earlier game. This game is already shaping up to be a match to watch, given that both are talented athletes. Meanwhile, in the women's draw, Paula Badosa produced a stunning upset to eliminate Coco Gauff, while top seed Anya Sabalenka overcame the challenge against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova to keep alive her bid for 3 straight Australian Open title. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
And now for the weather forecast with Rex Litter.
In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby, partly cloudy, with afternoon-evening showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorms. Wapondetta, partly cloudy with few evening showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorm. Momase, lay partly cloudy with possible few afternoon-evening showers. Wewak, mostly fine to partly cloudy with possible afternoon showers. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng, frequent rain showers and thunderstorms to overcast periods. Buka, rain periods with thunderstorms to cloudy evening. Highlands, Mount Hagen, partly cloudy with few evening showers, drizzles. Mandi, Tari and Wabeg, evening rain showers and thunderstorm. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea, sea slight with easterly to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea, sea smooth with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Seas, sea smooth to slight with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas moderate with northeast to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, Kiwai Islands to Kerema, Yule Island, Wood Point to Samarai Island, and waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Old Milne Bay Islands to Huon Gulf to Finsafen, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. From the news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.